at this point. But there was a time and place for everything, and if I was going to get something done during the next couple of months, I needed to leave the past behind me. I knew what I was going to do. I was going to burn this motherfucker to the ground. Okay, maybe a little dramatic, even for me. But hey, this was on the publishers. Was it so hard to craft a kind rejection email? It's not you, it's me. Maybe we can just be friends. Come on, I'd heard it all from guys. Publishers could have the decency to try not to break my heart. Ugh, fucking rejection. But a plan had already formed, and I wasn't going to back down now. I set my laptop up next to the printer in the office library with a bay window overlooking the ocean. I'd planned to write at that window nook, and I still wanted to. I pressed print on the computer and left to raid the stocked Kensington family wet bar. I'd have to replace whatever I scavenged, but it felt worth it tonight. I was only watching the house through the fall season. I'd gotten the job after watching my best friend's parents' flat in Paris last summer. Word of mouth moved me around the world from there, from Paris to Turks and Caicos to Aspen, and now I was watching the mayor of New York City's summer home in the Hamptons. And the mayor had a damn good selection of alcohol. Jefferson's Ocean, aged at sea, I muttered to myself. Good enough for me. I grabbed the bottle and went in search of everything else I needed. 15 minutes later, I had the stack of papers, a pack of matches, and the bottle of bourbon. I hoisted a shovel onto one shoulder on my way out the back door. When I hit the sand, I kicked off my shoes, grabbed a fistful of my flowy dress, and traipsed across the beach. My eyes were cast forward, and I moved with a sense of determination. The sun had finally left the horizon, throwing me into darkness, which was good, considering I was about to commit arson. When I reached the soft sand right before the waterline, I dropped my supplies and dug my shovel into the sand. The first shovelful was incredibly satisfying. I took out my frustration and aggravation on that hole, driving into the sand like I could erase the words from my brain. The tension in my shoulders intensified as I dug until I hit the wet sand beneath, and then I tossed my shovel to the side. I reached for the supplies, and with my foot on the pages so that they didn't blow away, I unscrewed the top of the bottle of bourbon and took a large mouthful. The liquid burned its way down my throat. I sputtered and then took another. That made me feel steadier, more alive. I shuddered as the alcohol hit me and then put it aside before retrieving the most important part of all of this. Pages and pages and pages. 47 pages, to be exact. 47 perfectly polite, perfectly soul-crushing pages. Every rejection letter I'd ever gotten in the last 2 years, including the latest batch my agent had just sent over. My eyes skimmed over the first page before I balled it up and threw it into the pit. A smile stretched on my face as I tossed page after page after page in the sand. 47 pages of kindling. I grinned wickedly, ready to put all of this rejection behind me. I snatched up the bottle of bourbon and liberally poured it on the pages, like adding milk to cereal. Careful to move the bottle far enough away so that it wouldn't blow up in my face, I snatched up the box of matches. "This is for you," I called up to the moon. "My ritual burning, my offering of this energy. Just take it away and help me start over." I struck the match against the box and dropped it into the pit. When the first spark touched the fuel, the papers burst into flames, sending a jet of flames up toward the heavens. I laughed and danced in a circle around the flames, already feeling lighter. So maybe this book wasn't the one. Maybe this hadn't changed the world, but maybe the next one, or the next one. And even if it was none of them, I was a writer. I would never stop writing. A weight dropped off my shoulders, and I tilted my head back toward the moon. I flung my hands out to the sides and did a